Honorable Men Discord, missing in DR. Let's talk about it. All right, I'm gonna get straight to it. The father and me had to do this episode. Let's get into this news clip. A young lady is missing in the Dominican Republic. She was last seen on the beach at a resort. Let's get into it, and I'm gonna speak on my views on this.
Our top story tonight, family and friends desperate to find this missing University of Pittsburgh student. She vanished while on spring break in the Dominican Republic. We are tracking this search. We know the 20-year-old was last seen walking on the beach at a resort on Thursday, and overnight, a Dominican Republic search and rescue team began their search. So far, no signs of her. News Nation's Nick Smith is tracking the details. Nick, what are we hearing?
We're hearing that investigators are asking anyone with information about her last whereabouts to let them know immediately. University of Pittsburgh student Sudiksha Konanki was last seen Thursday near a resort just before 5 a.m. Now, several agencies taking part in an all-out search for the missing woman.
All right, so I had to pause it there. We need to be specific. Near the resort or on a resort? Those things matter. I'm going to assume she was on the resort, but let's continue. And oddly enough, before I continue, there was a TV series. I believe it was either Netflix or it could have been Hulu. One of the two, with something similar to this, with a person that was snatched from a resort, if I'm not mistaken, a female also. But let's get back into it.
The Dominican Civil Defense, local firefighters, and the Dominican Navy. Those directly involved in the search are urging anyone with information about her to contact authorities immediately. We do know that she is 5'3" tall and was last seen wearing her brown swimsuit with large round earrings, a metal designer anklet on her right leg, and a couple of bracelets. The Defensa Civil, a Dominican Republic search.
Ladies. He just mentioned designer anklet. I know you want to feel good about yourself, look amazing on these vacations. Just stay away from designer, stay away from jewelry. If you're going to have a nice bikini on, that's one thing. But I don't know what type of earring she had on. But even though you're on these resorts, remember, these people that are working these resorts sometimes have to go, or sometimes or most times have to go back to their poor neighborhoods, and they look at you tourists with envy and sometimes with hate, because they have to go back home and maybe their girlfriends or wives aren't as dressed as nicely as you may be dressed on these resorts. Just be smart. Tone it down. Stay away from the jewelry. I advise you stay away from the jewelry. Leave jewelry in the hotel room in the boxes. Let's continue. Safe boxes.
Rescue team have been working since early Saturday to find her. It's unclear what led up to her disappearance, but because she is also a citizen of India, the Embassy of India in the Dominican Republic has taken the lead, and they are working with the State Department. But on the issue of safety concerns in this country, the U.S. State Department has a level 2 travel advisory for the Dominican Republic. In a statement, which reads in part, the State Department says violent crime, including armed robbery, homicide, and sexual assault, is a concern throughout the Dominican Republic. It isn't immediately clear if those who had been traveling with the 20-year-old have returned from the trip or where they were last seen when she was spotted. A spokesperson for the University of Pittsburgh told local media that university officials are in contact with her family. Natasha, the university and state officials offering their full support to find her and bring her home safely.
Yes, certainly. We appreciate you tracking those details. Nick Smith with us tonight. Thank you. And joining us now with more is Sheriff Mike Chapman of Loudoun County, Virginia, where this missing 20-year-old Pittsburgh University student is from. Sheriff, thank you for taking the time tonight. What do we know so far about this search?
Listen, I don't understand how individuals who go on trips in groups, and when something happens to one of the individuals from out of the group, no one has answers. Leave as a team, remain as a team, return as a team. Let me say that again. Leave as a team, remain a team, return as a team. So when you land, you remain a team. There is no, if some of the group is tired and they don't want to leave the resort, and you just say, well, I'm on a resort, I'm safe, I'm gonna go out to the beach by myself. No. If you're gonna go downstairs to the pool in a more supervised area where you have staff, you have the lifeguard and stuff like that, fine. But even then, you got to be cautious. And I'm speaking to women on this one, because if a woman should come across this video again, as although this says honorable men discord, it's open to the public. I don't discriminate on who watches my content. It's just important to know you have to be extremely careful as a female. I know you might say, well, you might be of the thinking of how you operate here in the United States or wherever you come from, where you feel extremely safe and secure with yourself. But understand, again, when you go to these places, a lot of these people that work the resorts are living in poverty. They're not living as, how can I put it? They're not living as blessed as many of you are, to be able to go on these vacations and put on nice clothes and jewelry and all the things that people in other countries, some people wish they could have. All right. But this may not even be a matter of what she had on. It could be just, who knows what it is, But the point of the matter is to hear that she was with a group. I'm not understanding how that's even possible without her being with someone. Stay together, folks. Stay together. And even with men, stay together. Just, it's just better that way, because men can get robbed. All right. Same thing applies to men. I don't care how strong you think you are. You're not stronger than a group of men ganging up on you. You're not stronger than a group of men with weapons ganging up on you. So be smart. Be smart. You want to return home. You want to enjoy yourself, but you want to return home. Let's continue with this.
Natasha, good to be with you. We're doing everything in our power. I mean, we take this incident very, very seriously, especially considering she's a resident of Loudoun County. We're working very hard with the authorities down there in Dominican Republic, whether it's their national police, their Coast Guard, their domestic police. I know they've done everything so far in their power to locate her. Helicopters, drones, boats, but we're also working with certainly the embassy in India. We're working with our U.S. embassy down there, and to include several federal counterparts, which would be the DEA, HSI, FBI, and University of Pittsburgh as well. So we're leaving no stone unturned on this. We're doing everything that we can to try to get to the bottom of this and help out the family here. We have reached out to the mom and dad. Unfortunately, haven't been able to get through just yet. I believe they're on travel right now, getting down there and probably getting briefed up on this. But we are very, very concerned about this, and it means a lot to try to do everything we can.
I'm going to go as far as saying this also. Even if you're on the resort, and I'm talking to females and men, right? Even if you're on the resort, the same rules should apply that many advise when you're out on the town in some of these places, in some of these countries. If someone's making you a drink, I don't care if it's the person that works at the resort, make sure you watch and then make your drink. All right? It's just too dangerous out there to take chances. Honestly, it's too dangerous. I don't like having to hear stories like this because, again, as a father, God forbid my daughter goes on a trip and I have to hear something like this. God forbid. I hope she's okay. I hope they find her and she's okay, because I don't like hearing stories like this. Let's continue.
To find out what is going on down there.
Yeah, so you believe that her family is actually en route. They're traveling to the Dominican Republic to get on the ground there?
Yeah, that's my understanding. Mm-hmm.
What is your biggest concern right now?
Well, my biggest concern is that we just don't know. I mean, anything's a possibility right now. We hope there's no foul play. We hope there's nothing of any major concern. We're hoping and praying that she gets returned, that she returns safely. We just don't know. But I can tell you that we're working with the authorities down there to interview everybody that certainly that she was down there with. I mean, she traveled down there from the University of Pittsburgh with 5 other friends. We do know that she went to the beach with several people. That's the last sighting that we had of her early in the morning on the 6th, which was Thursday morning. We're doing everything that we can to try.
Again, I'm going to keep repeating this. With 5 other people and I guess they all were on the beach at some point. Listen, I don't care, ladies. You go on these girl trips. If the girls find boyfriends or acquaintances for the trip and they decide to branch off, you might have to play the hotel room. I don't even know if that's safe, because if you're alone, people are watching. People are always watching you, ladies, particularly men. Sometimes it could be women. Sometimes these you worst case scenarios. I'm not advising that people be paranoid on these vacations, but you have to have a level of paranoia that keeps you on your toes, and in some ways it keeps you safe. Just be under just have the thinking that somebody may be watching you, right? And listen, ladies, I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to say don't go on these trips, because I know you need it. You work hard. You want to play hard. I get that sentiment, because I live by that also. But my God, ladies, look out for one another. Look out for one another. You get too comfortable. And this is showing that, look, this is a resort. This is not even off the resort we're talking. This is on a resort. This is let's continue.
Figure out what we can from the interviews that are being done down there, from any phone communications that would have been done, by any text messages that would have been done. So it's going to take a little while for that, but we are working very closely with everybody that I mentioned involved. Mm-hmm. Get to the bottom of this.
Do you know if the other students who went on the spring break trip with her have already returned to the U.S.?
I believe they're coming back tomorrow. I think there's several that have stayed behind to be interviewed by Dominican authorities down there.
Please don't tell me they know where she is or had something to do with it, because I can't imagine leaving for a trip with my friends and I'm returning without one of them. Now, I know you can't just stay, because you have to have a place to stay and you have to have the money to stay for an extended time as you try to look for your friend. But how eerie is that to return without your friend? Crazy.
And again, working with our federal counterparts as well, we're trying to do everything we can here and doing whatever research that we can as well up here in Loudoun County. So I think they're coming back tomorrow. That's my understanding, but I think they were held down there because of the ongoing investigation.
Sure. And this beach belonged to the resort. To your knowledge, was there any sort of surveillance video of this beach?
I believe there is some video there that we're working off of, and we're hoping to get as much information from that as we can, and to try to pinpoint the exact times that she was last seen, and try to figure out where we can go from there.
Are there any leads at this time that you can share with us?
It's an ongoing investigation. I think there are leads in the works here, but we are working very, very hard with everybody involved. It'd be premature for me to say anything more than that just yet, because we have so many people that are engaged in this investigation, and I don't want to misspeak because of that. And I want to make sure that whatever information that we get and that we put out is accurate.
I hear that. Are you hopeful she's still alive?
I'm always hopeful for that, and I certainly pray for that and for her parents, and we are very, very hopeful that that's the case. But we'll just have to see how this investigation unfolds, and we're doing everything in our power to try to find her.
Thanks for watching.
I hope that she's abducted and safe. I hope she didn't drown. And I definitely hope that, she wasn't abducted and they did something to her and then we find out that she's not alive. Goodness. Ladies, be careful out there on these vacations. Be careful. You fly out as a team, you remain a team. And the smaller the group is, the tighter you have to stay next to each other. It's not, I don't know why it seems like from this scenario, it seems like they felt comfortable with the group of 5 and they got too comfortable, or maybe the friends know something that they're not disclosing. I don't know. I can only assume at this point, but the smaller the group, be careful. I can't emphasize that enough. Be careful out there. Enjoy yourselves, but be careful. And that's all I have on this episode. I just wanted to get that out there because this one hits, because as a parent, Even if I wasn't a parent, it would be alarming, but even more so as a parent. So as always, I appreciate everyone for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode. Take care.